I haven't learned a thing.
How many people live there? 40?
There are 28 full that I consider just absolutely, they're there and they've been there for a long time. And then there's another, it fluctuates between 12 to 15 folks who are intermittently there off and on.
And of those, how many seem to have somewhere to go?
It's not a large number. There's probably 4 or 5 right now that have stated to me that they've got a place to go, that you know they can go someplace else.
And for the others, once their homes are destroyed, what do you think will happen? Where do you think they'll go?
Well,
another bridges go under.
Most of the folks down there refuse to go to the mission, and I honestly believe that they will migrate back downtown, and they will find places, you know, that they can hide at least until a room at the inn opens. It was when Clifton and I, Jeannie and Intercity all met initially. We had hoped that even if we were going to close the camp, we understood that, you know, there were some issues that certainly needed to be addressed, and we were going to give it a shot. We had really hoped that we could have gone until November 1st. I think I still share that feeling. I mean, I obviously do, and I understand that, you know, there are safety issues down there, and I certainly understand Lieutenant Swisher's point. But I'm really concerned that, you know, now I have even less time to get the folks out. The 22nd will be here in a blink of an eye, and I certainly have, along with my colleague Jeannie and Will, we have worked really hard to find additional housing, and as anybody knows, that's you know, quite difficult here in Nashville to do it on that quick of a notice. I think that it's going to be a struggle. There's no doubt about it. It'll be very hard for many of the folks. It will. But I think I agree with Clifton that you know, the camp, and I think there'll be some long-term members who will say this, because I've canvassed everybody there. Everybody to the last person there agrees that something needed to be done, that they were really hoping to get some kind of form of government, some way to implement order and to make decisions on who could come, how to restrict the population. Those have been issues with the members for, I mean, Wendell is sitting here, long-term member, Tent City, and has had this issue for about 3-4 years now.
The reason we're saying for the end of September, October, and into November, we're looking at colder weather, and we didn't want to displace the people out of the shelters, the substantial shelters that they had at that particular time. At least if we did it while the weather was still warm, they could have some amount of transition time as far as that goes. So that was one of the reasons why it was also pushed up, due to the fact that you know, the safety issue and so forth, but not to displace people when the weather was so cold and the elements were getting so bad.
18 days away from September 23rd. That's a huge mistake. The last meeting I was at over at the MDHA, I heard some good news, and I even was part of going out in the streets sharing it, that the Tent City was getting ready to receive a gypsy dumpster and 40 pots. And this is what we went out and spread it. Now I'm coming back and I'm hearing that I have to go break these people hard in the face again and tell them they got 18 days to get away from down there. You know, do you guys know how many murders that happens out in the street among the youth today? But does that mean that everybody in the project has to move because somebody went and murdered somebody? So you can't use this incident that happened in this city. What you're going to do, you're going to have a real chaotic situation on your hands. Steve, I know you do good work. but ain't no way. You, Gene, and me, and everybody been taking all them people in no house, and we're not going to get no falsified.
I agree. I agree.
What we're going to have to do is we have to go with this plan that y'all gave them the whole home week before last. I'm serious. If this plan of taking that donkey down there and over 40 parties don't help, you know, I'm a firm believer, y'all know I hear this all the time. It won't work, it won't work. And I would know, I say this all the time. How do you know it won't work if you don't try it? So until we try that dumpster and that private party, 40 party, and see what happens right there, we can't stay the same or clean up itself. We can't go down there and have nothing. So I am suggesting that on the 23rd, we get as many homeless people we can, sit that circle in front of that bulldozer. Because you are not going to sit here and let me go back out here and tell all my people, but these are my people, that they'll have to leave up out of this tent city. This city is Lieutenant Swisher, or safety and health issues, but it's because the state and the system won't help us clean it up. Now, the only thing I'm going to beg for, if this happens, is that y'all find a big warehouse somewhere to put them in until they find a place to go. Other than that, they'll have to sit still where they're at, and there's enough people, there's enough students, there's enough volunteers that is willing to go down here, cut grass, plant gardens, do flowers, build dresser drawers, whatever we have to do. But we can't push them out no more. I mean, we've been dumped on so long, and I have to respect what you said also, Lieutenant Swisher, about the winter. Sweetheart, we are survivors. We don't even about the winter. It's winter everywhere we go. We are survivors. And I don't want y'all to get confused about that. I'm just still going to be confused about that winter. But I'm taking a high risk here. I know I'm finna hush. I'm taking a high risk here. That I am saying that I'm going to stand up. I'm standing up with you guys to make this tent city not be shut down. Don't let it go. Don't let that city be here.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Clemmie, y'all taking a high risk. It doesn't matter where you sit in front of the bulldozers or not. If they want to move the tent city, they can do it and move you too. But I'm not saying that you should take a high risk. I'm just saying that's not going to solve the problem. The fact is that I do think that the safety issue is important. But I also think, Lieutenant, if there's a chance, when the people working as hard as we are, I had the same thought about November. And homeless people handle the winter better than we do. And we have coats and houses. If there is a way maybe to extend it so that the work can be done, I think what you're going to find, Clemmie, is that we don't have a whole lot to say about the private property. Because if people want their property back, they get the property back. It's their property. The city, of course, has the ability to do whatever the city wants to do with its property. I know, Cowboy, that the city was sued. I kind of checked that out, too. It's a little different situation. Yeah, a little different. Because, it's just a little different situation. So, I hate that this happened. It really hurts. But it's kind of like other things that go on in the city with the discipline plan with the schools and things like that. The state take over. The state has taken over. Now we got to figure out how to make our schools better in this situation. We got a situation that I don't know whether laying down in front of a bulldozer, it could delay it. It could delay it, and maybe delaying it is good enough. But if I don't know legally how we can stop it. So I think that if a plea does come from this commission, if we have the ability and the authority, it would be a plea for delay.